Okay, good day. My name is Abu Sunday. In this Qgis class, I'm going to show you how you can create a vector grid on Qgis. Okay, now some of the reason why we need to create a vector grid is that maybe you have a large area of interest and then or a large area that you need to produce your map for and discover that the area is very big that you cannot enter any paper size, like for it to be visible, no matter the kind of scale that you use or the paper size that you use. So you will need to actually divide it into different grids so that we can produce the map based on the grid. So for us to produce the grid now, the first thing you do is just go to your vector, then on your research tool you come down and then select your vector grid. Okay, so here this is your vector grid dialog box. So what you need to do now, you click on this button here for us to select the grid extent, the extent at which you want the grid to cover. So we can do that by use layer/canvas extent. That is the first option here. In this option you have the chance to select the layer that you want to create your grid for, and then you click OK. You see we have the coordinate of the area that the grid is going to cover. Another option again is that if you don't want to use the layer, you want to select it on the canvas yourself, you click here and then select extend on canvas, right? So you can now highlight your coverage for the grid. Do you understand? But for this class I'm going to use the first option where I'll select from the layer. So I'll select the layer boundary of interest. Okay, then I click OK. Alright, so now the next thing is to select input our spacing, x and y spacing, right? That is the size, the spacing for your grid. Okay, so I'll type, let's say, input 10,000 on x axis and the same thing 10,000 on y axis. Okay, now the next thing is to select your folder, right? The output folder that you want to save your grid. Okay, so what you do, just click on this dot here and then save to file. Okay, click on save to file and then it will open to a place that you want to save your shape file. That is your generated grid. Okay, so you see I'll be saving it into this folder which is on my desktop, training, right? It's training folder, so I can call it grid. Okay, then I click save. Okay, so I've saved it, then I click on run. So you can see we have our grid here now. So if I bring down the grid, okay, you see we have our layer on top of the grid. Do you understand? So now you discover that there are some features that you don't is some of the grid that is not touching the layers. You understand? So you cannot produce your map based on that, right? Okay, so for me to do that, first of all I can just make this my boundary of interest transparent. We did this particular class in our last class, so how to make your during our symbology class. If you don't remember, you go back and watch our class on symbology. So I'll click here and I'll click OK. Okay, so you see I have this now. Alright, okay, so now the next thing now is just for me to query out this this area that that is outside the boundary. Okay, that is outside the boundary. So what I will do now, if you can see the color very well, or I'll change it from black so that you actually see it, right? So that we'll see the color. Let me use this. Okay, and then increase the thickness of the boundary. Okay, so you can see it clearly now. So what we'll do is that we are going to do another expression, right? Where we'll do what we call selection by location. Okay, so I'll go back to vector, okay, the same research tool, and then click selection by location. Okay, so now layer to select from, you are selecting from grid, right? Because we want to select grid so that we can remove the ones that we don't want. Okay, then the additional layer of intercept is boundary of interest. Okay, so and then I will click disjoint. Okay, I'll click on disjoint so that it will now select the one that doesn't have anything to do with the boundary. Okay, so I'll click on run. So as you can see, the software automatically selects all the grid that doesn't have anything to do with the boundary of interest. Okay, so what I will do, I will click on my grid, start edit, right, and delete. So as you can see, we have our grid around the boundaries, so you can produce your map based on this grid. That is the whole coverage, right? So this is how you can create your vector grid on QGIS. So if this video help you, please try and subscribe to our channel, like and share the video, so that when we drop our next video, you can receive a notification. Thank you very much.